Hi, I'm Dania from Journey of Braid, and usually I'm braided and I'm way more glamorous when I do these videos. But today, it's one day before Women's Day, and just looking at the news around the world, and specifically in my home country, which is Mexico, I'm quite saddened by the role that women have come to play in society. And I really want to talk about this because sometimes, I guess, culturally, it's hard to understand. Um, but we grow up in Mexico thinking that calladita te ves más bonita, which basically means that when we're shutting up, we look prettier. We also grow up thinking that it's up to our looks how good or how bad our lives are going to be. And I'm not saying that that is exclusive from my country, but what I can say is that it seems so much more obvious. Um, you grow up as well, or I grew up as well, going to the streets and always showing the appreciation from men around me. Like just by whistling, by saying this special combinations of words, which we call albures. And it's basically just talking about how beautiful our butts are, or how special our boobs are, or how pretty we are. But of course, all of these things, as innocent and nice as they might seem, always show or make men feel entitled to say or to think a certain way about women. So, right now that it's the 8th of March 2021, more than 11 women die every day to the hands of men in violence acts, which we call feminicidios. And this is awful, and it's not awful only because it's women, but it's just because I think it's something that has happened culturally, and I think that is something that is based on education. I think that they educate us since we are very, very young to be there for men, to to just be pleasurable, to be well, just to be pretty, look good, and be desired. And when you are desired, then you're on the right track. It has a lot to do with our education, and it's breaking our society apart. Because how can the place with such poetry and love for women in all of the music and in all of the places can also be one of the places where women are being killed the most? And what is even sadder is that for every 100 assassinations of women, only 3 men, 3 of the men that kill women, get trialed. Like, it truly doesn't make any sense. So, for me, I've been moving around the world often. I've been living in many different countries, and I've seen how different the perception of what a woman is in each one of these places. In the US, it's quite different. It's quite different because the roles are a little bit less divided. But in Mexico, it's really the woman that takes care of the children fully. And all I want to say, like my little grain of salt for the day right now, is how important it is to be quite mindful of the way we educate our children. And it's not only about talking about these situations, it's not telling them that women are sensational and they are roses and you never touch them. It's living in equality with whoever you are married to, being a man, being a woman, but just showing that there is equality in the way each of the roles is developed inside the family life. Because otherwise, these are the kind of societies that we're living, that are extremely divided, and that there is one part that thinks that they are better than the other. So I am tired of going to Mexican newspapers and always seeing like the opinion columns being dominated by men. I am tired of seeing women always showing their body in excessive ways, even to just, like to give the weather for the day. And not because it's wrong that they dress that way, they can dress however they want. But being from that culture and being 15 years old and dreaming solely of having a good pair of boobs, I think I understand why they do it. We are taught that we need to be pleasurable to men, and that's something that you must aspire to, and it can't be that way. And I worry, especially right now with all the social media, with like that continues to be the case, and many of the characters that are the most admired, like the Kardashians, or it's exactly that. It's just a matter of showing their body, or going through surgery in a certain way to make themselves more pleasurable for men. And it's wonderful to feel beautiful. It's wonderful if the reason why you're doing things is for yourself, not for the sake of others. So I think that we really need to think of what messages we're passing to our kids in the way we live life. And I just wish one day we can celebrate Women's Day with as much hope as women can in this country. Even though here in the US right now, women are the ones that have been hit the hardest with the pandemic, obviously because of having children and how complicated those dynamics are. And because right now no one wants to onboard a woman that has kids because they know how much work it takes. And through the pandemic, obviously without schools and all that, the system is just so broken. So no, I don't think that in any country we are winning in that sense, or we could really say that there is this equilibrium. But what I can tell you is that some of the worst from the ones that I've experienced, I know that there's worse than that, but is Mexico. And I hope one day we can celebrate Women's Day. I really do.